So guys, can you able to hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yesterday we have covered some of the basics of HTML. Now let's continue. Now we are going to see about the list. About the list. First of all, unordered list. Unordered list. UL represents unordered list. Unordered list. Within the unordered list tag, we are keeping list tag. List. Unordered list. Unordered list. Unordered list. So these names will be coming without any numbering. Without any numbering. That means simply one bullet point. Simply one bullet point mark. John, Peter, Sarah. Unordered list. Creating the unordered list. Unordered list. It is not in any specific order. That means I'm not giving any numbers here. And also the advantages of using the list. Advantage of using the list. What is the advantage of using the list? For example, whatever I'm getting here, if it is the link, if it is the link, okay. Yesterday we have seen what is that internal links. Internal links. In case of internal links, what happens? It is going to redirecting me to the currently available web pages in that folder or in that project, right? Internal links. What is the difference between internal links and external links? In case of internal links, assume that I have the about.html and I have the index.html. Now from index.html, I want to go to about.html. Internally, I can set the link. Internally, I can set the link. Yesterday, we have seen that. Assume that I should go from about page to index page. In the about page, I'll be keeping the internal link to the index page. If I click on that, that will be redirecting me to the index page. Right or wrong? See, observe here. I have two files here. About.html, about.html. Okay. About.html. Now index.html, about.html, index.html. Now let us see once again what is that internal links. index.html. I have index.html. Let's say here www dot some website www.google.com. This is the external link. Right? External link. External link. That means this resource is in the internet, right? This resource web page is in the internet, not in my local system, not in my machine. It is external. That means the page is located somewhere in the internet. External link. So here Google is there. If I click on this Google, what happens? Google.com page will be, this is the external link. External link. Underscore blank represents what? It is going to open in a new tab. It is going to open in a new tab instead of opening in the current tab itself. That is the use of underscore blank. Now, what is internal? Internal link in the current directory, in the current folder. In the current folder, what is the current folder? Internal links. Current folder is what? Internal links. Now, in the current folder, I have developed about.html. This is the about.html. About.html. From the index.html, I want to go to about.html. I want to go to about.html. In the hyperlink, I have given about.html. Now, this will be visible in the form of link about.html. If I click on that link, what happens? It will be redirecting me to the about.html that is available in the current folder itself. Right? That current folder available in my system itself. So internal, that is the internal link. That is specific to my machine. Okay? In my system only, internal. Now, what happens here? About page, about page. If I click on this, we'll go to about page. Now back home, it is pointing to what? Index.html. In the about.html page, we have the link. In the about.html, we have the link to index.html. If I click on back home, this is what? If I click on back home, it will be taking me to index.html. So this is what we are calling internal links. Internal links. Yeah. By using the list, you can able to achieve the same kind of thing. What is that? Navigation you can achieve. Navigation you can achieve. How? These two lists will be coming in the form of unordered list. It is not given any number. Okay, simply one bullet point. Now link will be given home page and about page. Home page and about page. Home page and about page. See here, home page and about page. At the end of the web page, we can keep this in the form of list. So, to which specific page you want to go, whether home page or about page or any other page, ABC page, XYZ page. Okay, that link you can able to give by using unordered list.
sir, voice is not audible.
Nobody has told me that. Guys, now you can able to hear. Guys, now you can able
Yes,
to
sir.
hear me.
Yes,
At
sir.
least you, yeah, at least you would have informed me, right? See, in case of unordered list, there won't be any number. There won't be any number in case of unordered list. Whatever the list tag you are keeping, that will be coming in the form of bullet points. Bullet, indicating in the bullets. Okay. Now, using list, we can able to achieve the navigation. Using list, we can able to achieve the navigation. We can able to achieve the navigation. For example, I want to go to the about.html or I want to go to the index.html. That will be visible in the form of link. Currently, we are in the home page itself, index.html page. It is pointing to itself. Now, if I click on about page, it is going to point to what? About.html. If I click on that, it is going to redirecting me to the about.html page. Now, what is ordered list? In case of ordered list, a number will be given for each and every list element. For each and every list element, a number will be given in the increasing order. Ordered list. Ordered list. Ordered list. John, Peter, Sarah. Number will be given. Now, please observe, if if you are using Mac, okay, some of you are, if you are using Mac, you can able to make use of this code. For Mac related code is there. For Mac OS, you can able to use that code. Now, I can also develop the nested list. How we can able to develop the nested list? Now, for example, Peter. This is the list. Inside this list, I'm keep creating one ordered list. What is that? Peter is having the skills HTML, CSS. Likewise, Sarah is having the skills Java, Python. Now, for John, it is a simply list. Simply what? A list. See what is this? UL means. UL means what? Unordered list. That means there won't be any order. That means there won't be any number will be given. So John will be comes under what? Unordered list. Now this Peter is having the skills also coming under what? unordered list. But these skills, whatever is it having, second list element. For the second list element, I'm creating one nested list called ordered list. Ordered list, nested list, ordered list. Now HTML and CSS will be coming in the order 1 and 2. Nested list, right? So now we'll come to tables. How to create the table? Table by using table tag. Table tag. This is the table tag. Table contains table row. Table row tag. Now this is what table header. TH means table header. First table row. Table headings. Number, name. Second table row. What is the data? Table data. TD means table data. One and chart. Third table row. Table data. 3 Peter. Inside the table tag. Inside the table tag. Table row. First table row. What is the heading? Table heading. Number and name. First table row. Table heading will be number and name. Second table row. Table data will be 1 John. Third table row. Table data 3 Peter. Now table heading will be coming in the bold. Table heading. Bold style. Table data will be in the regular. So inside the table tag, this is the table heading, number and name. Inside the table tag, we have table row. Inside the table row, we have TH, table header, table heading. This is the table heading. Second table row. This is the table data. Third table row. This is the table data. Simple table creation. How to develop the forms? Form. Very important. form we are developing by using form tag. Okay, form tag. Now action and the method are the attributes. Action and the methods are the attributes. Action and the methods are the attributes. In case of action, in case of action, you'll be giving destination where this accepted data should go. In the form, we'll be accepting data or not. In the form, we'll be collecting data. That data, where it should go. That destination we are specifying in the action. We'll come to know in JavaScript. In the action, what we are doing, whatever the data we are collecting through the forms, where it should go, where we should send that data, the destination, where we should send that data, the destination we are going to give in the action. Okay. Now, what is method? Whatever the data that we are collecting, how it is going to process, how we are going to process. Usually, get method will be there or post method will be there. Okay. That you'll come to know. You might be come to know while working on the project. Will come to know. Otherwise, if you are working in the servlets, okay, for example, so that is where you'll be using these things. So action means where the data collected should go. Method means how the data that is accepted is going to process. Now, within the form tag, input, input, input element. So type is equal to text. One text box will be given for input purpose. One text box will be given. Observe. One text box will be given. Here, we have attributes type. What is that type? It is the text type of input. Text type of input. What is the name? Name is first name. Name is used for labeling that element. Name attribute is used for labeling purpose. To label that element. Name is first name. Then what is the ID? ID. So we'll come to know what is the use of this ID in case of what? JavaScript. ID. These are all the attributes. Now, I don't have anything. Simply one input box. It is the text type of input. Text type of input. Text type. Now, if I say value is equal to John, that means one value will be visible. Okay. For example, you know, type your name, something like that. See, otherwise, keep it done only. That means what? We are hard coding this input. We are hard coding. If you don't want, you can delete it and you can enter something else. But in the beginning, we are hard coding that field. That is what we are achieving. So value attribute. Now let us give a break, line break, line break. Line break. Now, second type of input, another type of input. We have so many input types. Okay, input type password, input type password, input type password. Observe now, we are getting second field. Let me give one line break is here. Fine. Now, if I start to type something, what happens? Whatever I'm typing is not visible. So this is what exactly we are achieving through this input password. If it is input type is password, whatever you are typing that won't be visible, right? It won't be visible. Now what is the placeholder? Placeholder. Placeholder attribute. Now this is the placeholder attribute. It is informing to the user to input something. Please type your password. As soon as you are focusing this field, that text will be gone. As soon as you are starting to type, that will be gone. But before it will be visible. Okay, that is the placeholder, initial placeholder. It is informing to the user what the input, what is the input. Placeholder. As soon as you start to type, that a placeholder will be disappearing. Next. Input type email. Input type email. I'm not going to give the value. Observe. Input type is email. Now I type the email, but I don't have the submit button to send this data, right? I don't have the submit button. If I develop the form, I should submit it, the data. If I don't have the submit button, what is the use, right? If I don't have the submit button to send the data, what is the use of entering the data? Here, I need to submit it. So that is why I develop what? One submit button. Button type submit. One button will be created. What is the name of the button? Submit here. Type is submit. Button type is submit. Now, sir, because of the value is email at email, by default we are hard coding that field to email at email. Okay, like John, we are hard coding this field. If you don't want, you can remove it. No issues at all. Give one line break here. Line break. Maybe another line break. Now, observe here. Some email address. Okay, some email address. Definitely, all the email address will be having at the rate symbol. Definitely, all the email address will be having email address. If I simply say, check. If I click on submit here, what happens? Please include at the rate in the email address. That means what? Simple validation. Simple validation by the HTML itself. See, validation, proper validation, we are achieving through JavaScript. Okay. But here, inbuilt validation is there, some validation. Every email address will be having at the rate symbol. Now, observe here, if I give the at the rate, it is going to submit. But no email address will be like this. We'll be having what? Some gmail.com or yahoo.com, right? If I click on submit here, observe carefully. Simply I'll say Gmail. Definitely I'll be having some kind of .com or .in or .org, right? If I submit here, it is going to take. So simple validation. If you want to achieve proper validation, you need to write the code for that in JavaScript. So inbuilt validation for HTML. That is what at the rate symbol should be there. After that, some text. Simple validation. Guys, give me 2 minutes, please. Okay, guys, please listen. Email now. See, what is the difference between input type submit and button type submit? Input type submit. Do you find any difference? Do you find any difference? Here, observe here, in case of input type, it doesn't have the ending tag. It doesn't have the ending tag. But in case of button, what do we have? Ending tag. In the opening tag, type is what? Submit. Button type. See here, submit can be, in this case, I'm giving button. In this case, I'm giving button. So here, you're specifying the name. Means on top of the button, this is the text. Submit here. But here, if you say in input, if you say value is equal to submit here, what happens? What happens? On top of that, submit. On top of that, what I'm getting? Submit here. See, by default, in the same format we are getting. But what is the difference? Here, only one tag. Only one tag. It doesn't have the ending tag. Okay. Now, what is that type? Submit. What is the value? In all the input, in all the input tags, if I say value, it is something that we are hard coding, right or wrong? It is something that we are hard coding. Here, name. I'm sorry, here, there is that John. Yeah, value is equal to John. John will be coming. John will be coming here. Likewise. Likewise, here, value is equal to submit here. Submit here. But here, one button only I'm creating. Button type is submit. On top of it, we can anything you can say. Submit. I'm getting submit button. Submit button. Two options you have. One is by using input. Another one is by creating button tag. Type is what? Submit. Forms two. See, somebody is asking, can you share these HTML files? Yes, of course. Actually, I have created the repository for you guys. Whatever I'm doing here, whatever I'm doing here, that will be available in the repository. After your class, I'll be updating that repository. For example, where is that? Simply in the Google search only you can search. search for the name, type AY Peter. Simply search for this name. This link will come up. Click on this. Now, this is my repository. Here, this is your Aptech DSU full stack web development. Aptech DSU full stack web developer D704. This is your repository. This is my profile and this is your repository. If you click on that, whatever the code, whatever the resource that is for your batch, that will be all available. Today I'll be updating, everything will be available. Yesterday I did not update. If I did not update, please inform me. Immediately I'm going to update the repository so that you can access. Okay? Everything will be available here. Now, I did not discuss about the label. Let me discuss about the label. What is the use of this label? Here, label for attribute. What is the name I'm giving? First name. In this form, in this form, we have the name is equal to first name. I'm labeling this element using label tag. I'm labeling this input element using label tag. Label for first name. It is pointing to what? This element. This element. Now observe. First name will be coming before this text field. First name will be coming before this text field. First name is coming. If you click on the label, what happens? That that particular text field, that element is highlighted. We are relating. What is that? This element I'm labeling through label. That means if you click on this label, first name, this field will be highlighting. Then here password is there. What is the name? Password. Copy this. Then for in the for it should place it. Here it should give what? Password. Password. Before this password field, you'll get this label. You click on this label. Name is password. Label. Password. Type. Value join. What? Yeah, that is missing. ID. So we'll come to know what is the usage of ID. As of now, as of now, if I click on the label, those particular field will be highlighted. But always remember that we should keep the both the attributes. What is that? Name attribute and ID attribute. Name and ID attribute. Forms 2. Now in this case also, first name is there, label is there. For example, assume that I'm missing something here. Let's focus on this now. Now, if I click on this label, it's supposed to highlight. It is not highlighting. Why? Because I have missed something, right? Here name is what? First name. Here I have missed something. Now it is going to highlight. Now it is going to highlight. That means I have mapped this input element to this label. There is a mapping. Input we have seen. Now we'll see text area. What is the text area? Text area. Text area. In case of text area tag or element, we are going to get a larger space to enter more words. Text area to enter more words. Text area. Columns. 10 columns, 2 rows. 10 columns, 2 rows. Attributes. 10 columns, 2 rows. 10 columns and 2 rows. So here 10 column size, 2 rows. This is the format of it. And type anything. 10 columns, 2 rows. 10 columns, 2 rows. Otherwise, you can increase 50 columns, 20 rows. Larger 50 column, 20 rows size. Enter it. Now, we are talking about the radio buttons. Radio. Input type radio. 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 Here, in case of radio button, normally we can able to choose only one option. We can only choose one option, right? Even if multiple options are there, the main what we are achieving only one, right? Radio button. For example, select your gender, male or female. Only one you should select. only one can be selected in case of radio button. So how we are achieving it? Input type a radio, then this name this name should be same for all the radio buttons in one group. That is how it is knowing that these are all belongs to one. That means among the three, only one can be selected. Among the three, only one can be selected. Name is coding. ID, I am not giving any ID. Value will be JavaScript. Now, what I'm achieving through this checked, that means by default, this option will be checked. That means by default, that option will be selected. When you are loading the page, that option will be selected. Later, you can select it to any other option. If I don't have this checked, that option won't be coming. That option is not highlighted. Please select your favorite coding language. No, sir. I can only select anyone. I can only select what? Anyone. All these radio, all these input type radio are in one group. What is the name? Name is what? Coding. Name is coding. Name is coding. Name is coding. That means what? I can only select one option. One option. Now, if I say checked, now observe the difference. Automatically, automatically, this radio button will be selected. What is that? JavaScript. That is the usage of this checked. Automatically, JavaScript will be selected. If I say checked. In case of radio buttons, name should be same. All are belong to one. Now we'll come to checkboxes. Checkbox. In case of checkbox, I can select multiple options. I can select multiple options. Type is equal to checkbox. Type is equal to checkbox. Now for all the checkbox, same name. For all the checkbox, same name. You'll come to know in JavaScript why I'm using the same name. You can control all these checkboxes. So name is same. Programming. Programming. In case of checkbox, what is the functionality? You can able to choose. You can able to select multiple checkboxes. JavaScript, Java, Python. Multiple checkboxes you can able to select. But in case of radio, only one. Only one option. You choose one option, other option will be gone. Only one option you can able to choose. But in case of checkbox, you can select multiple checkboxes. Now here also I'm using the checked. Status is checked. What that means? Python will be by default checked. While you are loading the page, Python will be checked. Python will be checked. That is what we are achieving through checked. Now we'll come to select element. In case of select, drop down, select, drop down. Inside the select element, we should specify the option tags, option tags. First option, JavaScript. Second option, Java. Third option, Python. So this select element, I'm identifying with the name. What is that name? Languages. Languages and ID will come to know how to use the ID. In case of select, drop down. See why I'm not getting here in the drop down. There is no space here. That is better. Okay, if you give some space, no. That will be coming in the drop down. If I say by default, observe carefully. The first option is going to select first option, JavaScript. Now I want to select observe. That will be selected. Later I can choose any other. Later I can able to choose other. If you say selected, that will be selected. That is what we are achieving to selected. Now we'll see some of the keyboard shortcuts. Some of the keyboard shortcuts. It is very, it is convenient. That means it will be saving you a lot of time. It will be saving you a lot of time if you are using shortcuts. We know that Control Z means what? Undo, right? Mm. So what I'm achieving here? If you press Control D, if you press Control D, and if you are pointing to some word or anything, Control D, pointing to anything. Okay, carefully Control D. Wherever coding is there, that will be pointed. Now, straight away you can able to delete all those things, all those things. Control D. Now, Control L. It's selecting the particular line, selecting the particular line. Control L. Instead of going here, deleting everything. Simply what you can do is anywhere in this line, can be anywhere in this line, just to press Control L, that will be selected, just to backspace, delete it. Now we already know this. What is that? If I want to copy this line to the next line, Shift Alt down arrow, Shift Alt down arrow, Shift Alt down arrow. Copy the previous line to the next line. Shift Alt down arrow. That is in Windows. In case of Mac, you can go for the option. In case of Mac, you should go for Shift Option down. If you want to comment, if you want to comment a line, what you can do is select this line, Control L, Control K, Control C. That line will be commented. Control K, Control C. Select that particular content, press Control K and Control C. Now, if you want to know more about the shortcuts, simple. Click on Help, select Welcome. Click on Help, select Welcome. Click on Help, select Welcome. Under Help section, there is an option Printable Keyboard Cheat Sheet. Printable Keyboard Cheat Sheet. Okay. So all these are shortcuts. Printable Keyboard Cheat Sheet. Now, you know, I'm not recommending you to memorize all these things. Okay, should not memorize all these things. Whichever is essential, okay, those try to incorporate while you are working. Uh, then, you know, after some time, you'll be knowing more shortcuts. Okay? Try to use that because every time if you are using the mouse, you know, it might get the development slow. But if you are using the keyboard instead of that, development will be faster. So actually, after this, we need to develop one simple HTML. We need to develop one simple HTML web page. Means, some small project. Okay. If you want to learn something, after knowing some of the basics or after knowing some of the things, you need to get in. You need to get hands on. You need to do something using that. Okay. Some simple project. One simple project you can able to develop. We are not including any CSS, simple HTML only. Okay, I'll give you the format. Can you able to try it? Code also will be there. No issues. So we should develop some web page using HTML that we can see. After that, we'll be starting CSS. So otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll be sending you the code itself. Okay, the whatever the small project is there, that code I'll be sending. Whatever the changes we can able to make it for that, you can do it. Okay, and send it to my email address. Okay, so I'll be sending that code. Please note down my email address. See each and everyone how they are modifying. You don't need to use the CSS. We don't want the CSS as of now. Okay, simple HTML only. So after the class, immediately I'll be keeping that inside the repository itself. Okay, I'll be updating that code. So what you can do is you can go through that code, execute it, and any changes you can able to make the changes. We'll see that, right? So next we'll be starting CSS. Lot of things are there in CSS. So many things, very important. So if you are still lagging behind in HTML, make sure that you have finished all the things in HTML and whatever I send it today. Try to work on that, make the modifications, whatever the thing, and please send it to my email address. Then I'll check each and every one. That will be recorded. That means that will be kept on your performance record. So please make sure that you'll be doing the assignment. So whatever I have done today, along with that sample project, I'll be updating within half an hour. So this much is enough as a beginner for HTML. Okay. Bhargavi,
Present, sir.
I'm not clear what you are saying, Saeed. Saeed, let's make it more sentence so that I can understand. Yashaswini, PR Yashaswini,
Yes, sir.
Sai Sri Lahari,
Present, sir.
Kularshika,
Present, sir.
Samrat, Srinivas,
Present, sir.
Madhushri, Rahul Gowda, Sachin PR, Harsha B, Abhishek PN, Abhishek
Present,
PR,
sir.
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
who is present?
Sunil Kumar present, sir.
Sunil, Shraddha,
Yes, sir.
Saurabh S. Jain, Namrata Prabhu, Archana M. Darki, Omar Abdul,
Yes, sir.
Saeed Abdul,
Yes, sir.
Alavi Hamid,
Yes, sir.
Ashita,
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
Rahul Pilavadi, Mohammad Usman, Mohammad Usman. Hello, sir. Present, sir. Rahul. Moin Ahmad.
Present, sir.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. We'll continue in the next class. Have a good day.